You're listening to the Late Night Football Show with your host, Rohit Singh. That's me. On this show, we talk about some of the most seriously silly topics from the world of football for your entertainment and enjoyment. Please remember that the show is BYOL. Bring your own laughs, since we don't have the budget for a studio audience. Happy listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Late Night Football. And since our last episode, documenting Manchester United fans' reaction to Donny van de Beek's transfer was so good, we decided to do another one, even though it's a bit late. But we are going to do the reaction of Arsenal fans to Gabriel's transfer from Lille. So, welcoming back to the show, we have Shashwat joining us over the phone. Hey, Shashwat, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi Rohit. I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing fine as well. Welcome back to the show. And we also have Nikhil Alphonse joining us as well for the first time. Nikhil, welcome to the show. It's very nice to have you as well.
Hey, thank you. It's nice to be part of the show.
Yes. And as I said, if you're a member of the Fox in the Box group, there's a very good chance you will be invited to the show. So that's, if you want to be on the show, that's the best way to do it. But we're here to discuss the transfer of Gabriel from Lille. Really exciting signing, young centre half. Has been running a few heads in the French league, and Arsenal done very well to get them. So, as how excited are you to see a defender like Gabriel come to the club?
Okay, so defense was our Achilles heel for past few years, especially the center backs. If you look back, after Koscielny Mertesacker partnership, our center back partnership, there's hardly any consistency. So it has been a weak point, and the signing of Gabriel along with Saliba last year, it gives us a long-term options at center back position, and it's a very good reason to be excited about the transfer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shashwat, do you see him going straight into the team, or do you see him being on the bench at first and then slowly making his way to the first 11?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think initially, Arteta will follow back three, consisting of Luis, Holding, and Saliba. I think, I think it's Saliba, Luis, and Tierney, with AMN in the left wing back, and right wing back will be Hector Bellerin, or Cedric. So initially, I think just like you saw in the last season, that Kieran Tierney was picked after some time. So initially, I don't think Gabriel will be immediately come to the team. I think he will be first tried out in Europa League games or Carling Cup. I mean Carabao Cup, and then he will be, after he gets experience, then he will come to the team along with Luis, or then I think Arteta will maybe go with a back four option consisting of Saliba and Gabriel, or Pablo Mari. I think he's another. I think I have heard of him that he's a good centre back. So I think he will be. These three will be the options during that time.
You don't see,
in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't see Mustafi getting into the team?
Yeah, Mustafi. Yeah, one thing that I felt that Mustafi had a very under Arteta has performed well. So yeah, but maybe it depends on the transfer window. If Mustafi is there in the transfer window, means playing for Arsenal, then I believe he will be starting in those Europa League competition, or wins, or FA Cup, or if any defender gets injured, because our history with the injury is slightly means bad. So in my opinion, that in that case, Mustafi will get a nod. So at this point of view, I think Saliba is confirmed starter, and David Luiz, and maybe means if we try for back three options, then and Kieran Tierney at present, I feel like that.
And Nikhil, do you agree with the assessment of Gabriel first being a bench player, or do you think he should start?
So yeah, he hardly had any time to integrate with the team because of the quarantine. So there would requires some time to integrate with the team. Get like again, there will be language issues in the beginning. He is fluent in Portuguese, and I think only David Luiz among the current defenders would be able to converse in Portuguese. And the once he adapts to the team and the English game, like maybe playing a few Carabao Cup games or Europa League games, he will be integrated slowly, I feel. Again, this is assuming there will be no injuries. So,
Big assumption when it comes to
yeah, there's a big assumption. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I think it is a position that Arsenal needed to strengthen because everybody knows that the defenders are not very reliable, for lack of a better word. But is there now start these kind of with Saliba, with Gabriel, even Tierney last season? Is it now is it like Arsenal are now having a nice little defensive unit? Maybe not title-winning quality, but at least there maybe for top four. Like, is it top four quality the defense?
So this, I think it's a very long-term investment we are doing in defense. We purchasing players who are either 21, Saliba is 19 and Gabriel is 22, even Tierney is 23. So all the players are really young, and I could see them if they stay injury-free, playing for another 10 years, all of them. Even Bellerin is 25. So the entire we can see a backline which we can have for 10 years. So that gives a stable defense, and if we can build on the defense and some of the qualities Gabriel bringing is good passing quality. So these are integrated with the values of what Arteta is trying to bring, playing from the back. So I think it's it may not be a title-winning defense right now, but maybe in 2 or 3 years when they're integrated completely, this could be one of the best backlines in English league.
That's a bold claim from you, but reason to be optimistic. I think following on that, Shashwat, I think that definitely might be the plan, right? At the end, to have a long-term partnership of Gabriel and Saliba, if all things go well.
Yeah, at present, I think the three defenders which I think will be a long-term option are Saliba, Pablo Mari, and Gabriel. Gabriel will be our lead, because in my opinion, it's a matter of time before Arteta shifts to back four system, because in the last season, as we were leaking so many goals, so that's why Arteta gone with the back five option. So in my opinion, that he will be as the season rolls on, you will see that there will be a back four option with Saliba or Gabriel will be our leading from the front and will be our leader, because at present we have heard that he has got good accolades, good things about Gabriel, because I think in French league also he had a good season, so he might be our leading from, and then we will be rotating with Pablo Mari and William Saliba, and Tierney will be our left back, and right back will be shifting with either Cedric, or if Hector Bellerin leaves, then Chambers did a good job last season, you saw, but he's a little bit injury prone, or Amen. So in my opinion, this we might not win the title immediately, because even top four, the other teams like United or Chelsea are a little bit strong, but we have to get this top four this season. So I think we can get it with this defense. Not immediately, we will not challenge for the title. Maybe with experience, we will get. We will hope that we might challenge.
Yeah, well, title is a dream for all of us not supporting Liverpool or Manchester City. But very quickly on that note, then what else? What other signings? There's so far signed Gabriel and Willian, to my knowledge. I'm not counting people who were loans and then are being converted into signings like Ceballos or whoever. But who else do you see that Arsenal need to bring in? Maybe not players, but even positions. Where else do you think Arsenal should strengthen in this window?
Okay, so I feel we are still very light on midfield. like if you since it's almost confirmed Ceballos is coming, but even with Ceballos coming, we have like limited options in the center. Like Chaka is there, and if Ceballos comes, and then Torreira is like out of favor with Arteta from last year, and then Gundozi is again out of favor. He has not played in the last half. And Ozil is also not playing, and then the other options could be like Willock and Emily Smith Rowe. So again, Willock and Emily Smith Rowe are not experienced in Premier League to be considered starters. So we would ideally would have to bring a center midfielder who can support the defense and also build attacks. So that's one signing. Like there are many names who are like thrown around. Like Partey is one. So that would be a really like astute signing. And again, I don't like there is a big release clause for him, so that is dependent on other sales. Like for example, Bellerin is rumored to be to PSG, and then mainland lines was rumored to Wolves, but I don't think that's happening right now. And yeah, some players like Kolasinac, for example, Kolasinac, Socrates, they are also linked. But so yeah, so these midfield signings are very much dependent on other sales happening. That's what I felt.
Shashwat, do you agree with that? Or
Yeah, I'm also agreeing with that. We at this present junction means from the starting of the transfer window, you have seen that Thomas. We have been linked with Thomas Partey, and Atletico has a clear thing that we have to pay the 50 million. That is the release clause. So I think for that we have to bring him with yeah at present. So because because Torreira was having a little bit of downfall in the last season. So at present, I think Thomas Partey will be is a must for Vince or Diawara. These two are the options which I have seen hearing a bit, and one attacking midfielder, that is Aurier. So from Lyon, that also we are linked with him also. So at present, these two are the signing which I am looking forward for. Because Thomas Partey, we have to pay his release cost, and then only Atletico will give us him will give Thomas Partey to us. So, in my opinion, this.
yeah, I mean, midfield is an area of concern for Arsenal.
Yeah,
I mean, 50 million euros is not a lot, to be honest, for someone like Partey. It's pretty good. But I understand Arsenal have got financial issues, particularly when you have a certain Ozil who's refusing to leave no matter what. Okay, I have to bringing this back to Gabriel, and three very quick questions, because I know we want to do these quick. So first question, it's a bit difficult to quantify success for defenders because, you know, with strikers, you can say, oh, how many goals do you expect? Or midfielders, how many assists do you expect? But what are you expecting from Gabriel this season with regards to improving Arsenal's defense?
So for me, success in defense would be forming a stable defensive line. So if we can form a backline which we don't have to alter in the middle of the season, like say after a match, then I would consider it as a success. Like if towards the second half of the season we have a stable back three or back two, which we can like say for certain we will play it in an important match, that I would consider success. Like if you have defenders on whom you are not confident, then you'll have to rotate it depending on like the matches. So for me, success would be a stable, consistent backline.
Shashwat?
Yeah, according to me also, a stable but solid backline. That is what partnership that we are looking for. At present, since last season, we are expecting Gabriel to be like that. One who means just like you see, it's slightly difficult to expect. Like just like if you say Virgil van Dijk, he hardly makes mistake, and immediately he commands the other defender, that is Matip or Gomez. So I'm expecting. It's too early to expect from him because he's just now came in, and so I want him to be leading from our defense and along with Saliba. So and for him to grow, David Luiz will be a very important factor, because as we have seen that he has been part of, because he has been he's an experienced player, and he has been doing okay after that Man City error, which cost him the game, us the game against Man City. So he's been doing okay at that point. In my opinion, that will be the success, that if we maintain a good solid backline.
Okay, well, that seems pretty reasonable. Second, my next question: do you guys have a song for Gabriel yet? What do you think would be a good song for Gabriel for the fans? Do you have one?
I haven't thought of anything, so yeah, I'll pass that one.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. If you guys want to sing, that's fine, but I'm not sure if the viewers might run away after that. But no.
Okay.
All right, the final question, because we like to create a bit of controversy. So here's my question for you. There was another left-footed centre-half signed by another English team. So who represents better value for money? Is it Gabriel at £22 million or £25 million? I'm not sure the exact figure. Or is it Nathan Ake at £40 million?
I don't think it's a question, to be honest. Like, you're bringing a centre back who got relegated and buying for 40 million. Like, I'm not saying that a team which is a defender who got relegated is entirely bad. Like, Robertson is another example. But again, a team like Bournemouth, who were conceding goals left, right, centre, and like, he could be a good defender, but you're not paying 40 million for such a defender who got relegated.
Okay.
So it's, for me, it's a no-brainer.
Okay, Shashwat, do you agree? Who's the better value according to you? Is it Nathan Ake or Gabriel? Money-wise, value for money.
Yeah, according to me, 40 million for Nathan Ake, I think it's a little bit overpriced, because as Nikhil said, that he was a part of a team which got relegated. So, but one thing is that he has experience, but playing in the Premier League, and and Gabriel, that is the only factor which I see could be decisive. But I think we have got a better deal, because
Gabriel has also played in the Champions League. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so anyway, so in summation, both Arsenal fans are saying that Gabriel represents better value for money than Nathan Ake. So the sound you guys are going to be hearing is those the keyboards of the Manchester City fans going tuck, 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 tuck right now. So that's only what's going to happen. And it's good we did this video before United signed the defender, because I don't think I would have been able to ask you that question otherwise. But thank you so much, guys. I think that's it from me. Please do share your comments and thoughts on this transfer. If you're an Arsenal fan or not an Arsenal fan, tell us what do you think about the Gabriel transfer. I know it's been a few days, but hopefully you have had a chance to analyze and see how this transfer would affect the team going forward. In the meantime, also remember to please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We really need new viewers and followers and growing this channel. So please do subscribe so we can continue producing such good content for you. In the meantime, thank you so much, Nikhil and Shashwat, for joining me today. I really appreciate the time that you two took out to do this video. Really, really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Thank you so much for joining in.
Yeah, it was fun having this discussion. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah.
I'll see you again soon. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to that episode of Late Night Football. We need your help to grow this channel, so if you've been enjoying the show thus far, please do like and subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends, family, colleagues, neighbors, drinking buddies, fellow football fans, and anybody else you know or don't know. We'd really appreciate it. Please also follow us on Twitter and Facebook via the links in the description below and spread the word about us. Take care.